People of YouTube, hi, hello, my name is Andy Anderson, and today I want to talk about how to stop being so spiritually brainwashed. Guys, spirituality can be the most beautiful, incredible thing in your life, okay? It can be very fucking enriching to have spirituality and faith in your life, okay? And you know what, like, life kicks us to the ground. Life absolutely kicks us to the ground sometimes and brings us to our knees. And the only thing we have when people aren't around, when money isn't around, when purpose isn't around, is faith, is hope, right? So I feel like spirituality and faith in some regard is just incredibly important, okay, for humans. But it can be very damaging when it becomes a bit culty, all right? And what I'll say is, guys, I really got a bit culty with New Age spirituality. I really did, okay? And sometimes I did question if I was a cult leader. At one point, I was like, hang on a second, this is sounding a bit culty, all right? So guys, let's talk about it. If you don't know my history, I was a psychic tarot reader on TikTok for 5.5 years, okay? I've moved to YouTube, and even though I'm still a very spiritual person, holy fuck, like, the conditioning of New Age spirituality has really left me, okay? I don't get so caught up in astrology and tarot and twin flames and soulmates and conscious manifestation, all this shit that's probably really overconsumed and not the best, all right? New Age spirituality can be a very incredible, empowering tool, okay? Finding yourself out through astrology, like, you know, dabbling with tarot and having fun with that, okay? Believing in soulmates, that can be very cute and empowering, okay? There's nothing wrong with dipping your toe into these things and for a more enriching life, okay? The problem is when we overconsume these things and it becomes a type of religion, all right? So guys, I know for me that, now I'm gonna really say some shit that I'm ashamed of, but let's just be really fucking real, okay? I wouldn't date certain star signs just because I knew what they were like. So guys, there's 8 billion people on the planet. I'm a Gemini, okay? Is all Geminis the same? Am I going to remove all Geminis from my life, right? Just say, you know, 1 billion of them, who fucking knows, because they share some type of characteristic. That is very brainwashed thinking, okay? This is not just me. A lot of people operate like this. Like, I would never date a Scorpio. I would never date a Libra. I would never be friends with this person, okay? That's very group think and very brainwashed think, okay? My goal for this video, guys, is you walk away with critical thinking, okay? Because I did not have critical thinking coming into the spiritual community. I was very brainwashed into groupthink and these really dogmatic ways of thinking and operating in the world that were actually very harmful, all right? Guys, same with tarot. You guys take that so fucking literally. And I understand, because when I first started getting tarot readings, like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, like, when someone was like, oh my God, that's your soulmate, you're gonna marry them, I took that so literally. And I remember my first partner that we had a breakup and everything. It was so much worse because, like, the psychic predicted that we were going to be together forever. So, right, I hung on to that like a promise that someone is going to be in my life forever. We're going to get married, okay? And when it didn't work out, I was absolutely distraught and heartbroken. And you guys hang on to that. And then you also hang on to the most, the most damaging message. They're coming back. They're coming back, okay? Guys, the thing that I really struggle with in New Age spirituality, there is no acceptance for reality as it is. No fucking acceptance for reality how it is. So guys, positive and good spirituality to me, okay, like the healthy kind of spirituality, I should say, is completely living in the present moment, accepting of others and their shortcomings, okay, with strong boundaries, right? Also accepting reality wholeheartedly for how it is, and learning how to navigate reality in a compassionate way, even though how some people have hurt you, with strong boundaries, but still doing it in a compassion loving way where you're not spilling hate wherever you go. That is true spirituality to me, okay, guys? But somehow, guys, we've got wrapped up in this spiritual bypassing. I'm not going to accept reality for how it is at all. And I'm just going to go into a spiritual psychosis and, like, you know, just accept all these vague fucking messages and stay in a limbo of hope for like 20 years and not heal. Okay? So guys, a lot of you may be watching this and be like, well, Andy, I don't do that. I practice healthy spirituality. This video is not for you, okay? This video is for the people that have been so brainwashed by an unhealthy version of New Age spirituality or spirituality in general, right? So guys, with your exes coming back videos, okay? Very unhealthy. Why can't you accept that the relationship's over, and if they come back, awesome. If they don't, they don't. It's not meant to be. Why can't you wholeheartedly accept, okay, we are broken up, I'm going to move on. It doesn't matter if I get the message they're coming back. It doesn't matter if they don't come back. I'm just going to move on. If they come back, awesome. If they don't, they don't, right? Instead, you hear the message like they're coming back, so you can't move on, ever. And you're, guys, it's actually really scary. Like, some of the people I've been doing tarot readings for, they've been stuck on the same person for 5 years. We've just been, and you know, I've had to ban them from coming to me for tarot readings because I'm like, I'm not going to repeat myself. Like, this person isn't coming back. And they're like, yeah, but the other person told me like they are coming back. And I'm like, you're being brainwashed. Like, no, like, you have to come to acceptance that this relationship is over, right? Guys, like, you know, I'm going to make a separate video about conscious manifestation because holy fuck, okay? Guys, I was caught up in the conscious manifestation space for like 3 years. It completely fucked my mind. Like, it really did. And I'm still like, it actually created trauma in me, guys, okay? Like, because in conscious manifestation, it's pretty much the same as tarot, but more in a controlling your reality way of like, your thoughts and beliefs create your reality. So if I say to myself over and over again in my head, they're coming back, they love me, they're going to come back and love me, right? I'm not saying I haven't had scary experiences with manifestation where, you know, what I've thought and had the intention behind has manifested. Absolutely. Okay, guys. But it's not that black and white. Okay, guys. I've had a lot of partners that you know, I'm laughing because it's like, again, guys, it's like the control thing, right? Spirituality is about letting go of control. But what I see in the spiritual community is actually this reverse side effect of everyone being so controlling to their reality, to people, to, you know, and not letting go of someone, guys, and pining over someone is still a version of like extreme control, right? I'm going to sit in limbo and hold on to this person for dear life because I can't accept reality. There's still an energy of wanting to control the outcome by not letting go. Like, subconsciously, deep down, it's like, if I don't come to acceptance, I still feel like I have control of this situation. So accepting reality for how it is letting go of control. But if I sit here in the hoping and praying that they're going to come back, I have some sense of control because the tarot reader's telling me they're coming back, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to sit here still, right? That is not spirituality. It's not spirituality, guys. It's control issues and emotional trauma and like childhood wounds, and there's a lot going on there. All right, guys. So guys, going back to conscious manifestation, like, I think it's beautiful that you can break up with someone and you can sit there and you can cry and be like, I don't fucking want this to happen. But you accept reality for how it is. And you're like, you know what? I really have the intention that I really want to get back with this person. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm going to put that intention out in the universe. Fuck, maybe the stars will align and we'll meet again. Awesome. If we do, we do, we don't. I think that can be beautiful, of being like, I really hope we get back together, but I'm going to let this go because it's not for me right now. I think that's beautiful. I think that's a beautiful way of manifesting experiences in your life, by living in a state of surrender and just like intention here and there, right? When it comes dangerous is when like, you're like, I am going to get this person back with brute force and control in my mind. that is not fucking healthy. And you're sitting there affirming for them 24/7. You're sitting there watching all these manifestation videos, okay? Like, guys, not being in touch with reality because you're living so much in your mind trying to get this person back. I have been there so many times, okay, guys? And that shit like that is just so unhealthy. I'm gonna be real with you, and a lot of people may unsubscribe from me, and I truly don't give a fuck because I would rather be truthful in myself and really give you guys like clear guidance and critical thinking rather than be a delusional fuck, all right? But twin flames, guys, that's not real. Like, you know, and who the fuck am I? Am I the Buddha? Am I Jesus Christ? No, I'm not. I don't know how reality works entirely. But guys, when you really look at it from a critical thought point, and I can't say it's not true, that's my perspective, okay? You have your own perspective. No one's gospel in their opinion, right? But guys, when you really look at twin flames from a critical thinking lens, okay? So it's the same soul. It's fucking ludicrous. Like, it's the same soul split into two different bodies. And you have to have an abusive relationship with this person where they're ghosting you and going and sleeping with other people and, you know, like chucking you down the stairs and saying they hate you. But, you know, Andy, actually, it's just a really strong soulmate twin flame connection. They're actually scared of the love we have. They're scared of the connection. This is what happens. Who came up with that shit? Okay, like, who came up with that shit, guys? Guys, no, you're in a trauma bond. You're in a very unhealthy relationship and a trauma bond, an abusive relationship, and you're spiritually bypassing. That's what twin flames are, okay? Same things for soulmates. But like, you know, twin flames is more this like culty version of soulmates, okay? But guys, if, you know, I think the term soulmate can be very beautiful. I get it. You know, you meet someone, boom, it feels like home. It feels like you've known them forever, okay? If it's a healthy relationship where people are communicating well and yeah, it's healthy and beautiful, awesome, use that term. If this person's abusing you and treating you terribly, but you're like, they're my soulmate, you're brainwashed, okay? You're fucking brainwashed. Let's move on. You're right where you need to be, and your soul came down and chose this experience. All right. Sometimes you're really not where you're meant to be, okay, guys? Going back to being in an abusive relationship or living under a bridge because you have no money. Guys, I used to have this mindset that bad things were happening to me in my life because spirit wanted me to experience like bad things, or my soul wanted to experience bad things because I was meant to learn lessons for them and, you know, become more wise and be a better teacher and things like that. I get that, right? But the older I get, and again, more leaning into that critical thinking, I've realized a lot of the bad shit that's happened to me is because I've had no boundaries, very low self-esteem, and very little respect for myself. It hasn't been because spirit's trying to put lessons into my life. It's been, here's a relationship and they're abusing you and you have no self-esteem or boundaries, right? Here's a job that's treating you like shit and you can't walk away because you have no self-respect, right? The spiritual bypassing of it all. No, my soul's choosing this, or like I'm right where I need to be. Like, even though this is a terrible situation and my life's falling apart, it's all a part of the grand plan. No, you need some boundaries and self-respect, okay? And guys, the common theme I see with everyone that comes to me for tarot readings or guidance and everything like that, and guys, I am like, you know, I was like you in a lot of ways, and in a lot of ways I still am like you, okay? That's why we connect through these videos. But if you became really strong in your boundaries and just cut so many toxic situations out of your life with people and situations in general, I promise your life would get 90% better and accepted reality for how it is wholeheartedly without living in the past, you know, begging for a future that's, you know, not even promised to you. You would be unrecognizable overnight if you adopted that mindset, guys, okay? And stop trying to spiritually bypass your life all the time, all right? And guys, as soon as I stopped spiritually bypassing my life and putting this spiritual flair in my life and started to become a normal person again, like the person I was before the new age shit, okay? Obviously, I was a very traumatized person before the new age shit, okay? Now I'm more of a critical thinker and more grounded. But when I started to drop all that and was like, fuck, I don't need to be this person that has these worldviews. Like, this is a choice. Like, this is actually a choice. Like, you know, there's so many people that don't believe in astrology and tarot and, you know, conscious manifestation, and they have a really good fucking life. There's so many people that don't believe in spirituality to a crazy extent, and they still have a really good life. Like, I don't need to live with these ideologies and brainwashing, right? And as soon as I sat down with myself and was like, that's bullshit, that's bullshit, that's bullshit, I'm just going to be a really good, kind-hearted person. Expect good people in my life. If they're assholes, I'm going to cut them off immediately, and I'm not going to hold on to them, okay, and grasp and be like, they're coming back, or like, why don't they understand me? Why don't they love me? Oh, you're a fucking loser, bye. Next, okay? You operate in a very fearless way like that. Like, okay, fucked over my boundaries. I thought you were this person. You're actually this person. Okay, next. In relationship, in friendship, in family, in work, in money, okay? Like, what can really hurt you, right? And guys, this is not becoming emotionally avoidant, okay? I'm not saying things around you can't hurt you, okay? But when you accept reality for how it is and be like, oh no, you don't understand, they're just going through a hard time, or like they're actually coming back, or they do love me. No, you're a fucking asshole, goodbye, I'm going to move on to a better person, okay? Like, yes, you can feel sad that they hurt you, but just realizing, okay, that's not a fucking reflection of me. This is what the spiritual community does as well. Everything's your fault. All the time, right? Now, guys, I think it's important to take radical accountability for the way you show up in your life, but no, not everything is your fault, okay? Like, being in a relationship with a narcissist or an abuser is not your fault, but not putting in boundaries with them and telling them to fuck off is your fault, right? So you didn't attract this person into your life to learn a lesson, okay? Yeah, the only lessons you're learning in life is that you have low self-esteem and no boundaries, okay? So if you're like, why did this come into my life? It's because you have low self-esteem and no boundaries. Now, guys, I'm just talking more about like abusive relationships and being poor and being stood all over. I understand that horrible things happen, war, deaths, illness, okay? I'm not so much talking about that. Again, there's a grieving process and there's an accepting reality for how it is, okay? But again, you didn't deserve those experiences. Life is good to all of us, and it also fucks all of us, okay? Some have it better than others. Some have a fucking terrible life and some have a really great life, okay? And I just feel like that's a luck of the draw. I don't feel like blaming your soul for coming down and experiencing abuse and war, a war-torn country is a sensible way to go about life. Or like, oh, I'm just in this terrible abusive relationship or terrible situation because of my soul, or I'm right where I need to be. No, get the fuck out of there. I love spirituality, but this is where it just gets really fucking delusional, all right? Guys, I really welcome you to be like, okay, what parts of spirituality can I take, all right? For me, sleeping with affirmations on and changing my beliefs has been an absolute fucking game changer. After like 3 or 4 years, I still sleep with a sleeping track every night to rewire my subconscious mind. I think that's really important, okay? I feel like having compassion for people and not just spilling hate on everyone is a beautiful way to live. But guys, compassion is nothing without boundaries. Let me say it again. Compassion is nothing without boundaries. If you have this endless compassion, okay, and you're just a fucking doormat, like, I can't put in boundaries because I'm spiritual. I can't say to people no or fuck off because I'm spiritual, okay? That's another level of brainwashing, all right? There's a difference between being nice and being kind. Kind people be like, I'm gonna give you as much as I can, but these are my boundaries, and if you cross it, you're gone. Nice people are just like, I'm gonna give you everything and you can do whatever you want to me and I'm still gonna love you. That is not unconditional love. That is not kindness, okay? That's trauma, all right? So you need to cultivate a good relationship with spirituality where you're like, I'm going to live out of my heart center and be kind to everyone. But you know what? If they do something really malicious and terrible, I'm not, and this is how I approach it. I'm not going to blow up. I'm not going to get revenge. I'm not going to, badmouth them to everyone. But if a fuck off is needed, I'm gonna tell them to fuck off, and I'm going to do what I need to do to remove that person from my life. Do I need to like pick apart their character and go fucking crazy and like, you know, abuse them and, you know, go, no, I don't need to. I can see, okay, you're a broken person. There's obviously something really fucking wrong with you to hurt me like that. Cool, bye. There's the door, let's go, next, right? So I feel like that's my way of moving around the world with compassion, but also having boundaries. And when you really are a spiritual person, guys, you feel almost sad for people that can't regulate their emotions or communicate effectively or self-sabotage in relationships or do something terrible like cheat on you or like, you know, abuse you, because you're like, how broken are you to move around in the world in that way? It's not an angry thing. That's where the compassion comes from. It's like, fuck, man, like your life must be so sad and you must have so much trauma in you to operate like that, right? But also that's not acceptable. So bye. Like I'm not going to like try and fix you. I'm not your mommy. I'm not going to hold your hand through this. Like that's fucking ridiculous, right? Bye. So guys, please start having a more healthy relationship with spirituality. And I want you to really sit down and be like, okay, am I overdoing it? Because guys, it's okay to admit that you're wrong. It's okay to admit like, hey, at one point spirituality really fucking helped me, but I'm being a bit fucking cuckoo with it and I need to calm down. All right. And that's what I had to realize with myself. And like, you know, running spiritual business, I'm like, am I a fucking cult leader? Right? Am I like giving these like crazy delusional messages? Like, and this is not right. I don't want to live my life like this. Like, I want to be grounded. I want to have critical thinking. I don't want to live in delusion. I want to live in the present moment, right? And guys, the biggest thing for me that I've dropped from spirituality, this is more the conscious manifestation realm. I'm not taking accountability for other people's actions anymore. Guys, in law of assumption, and this is the most fucked mindset. You know, I have compassion for myself. I understand why I got into this, but I also am like, Andy, wow. Like, they say that if someone cheats on you or is lying to you or like, you know, abusing you or like, you know, got a third party, it's because you feel insecure or you don't feel chosen or you don't feel wanted. No. You are choosing the wrong people, okay? Guys, my girlfriend now, when I finally dropped this like cuckoo delusional behavior, okay, this is, and I feel emotional, but this is the first partner in my life that has actually not had an emotional reaction to me having feelings. Okay, I bring something up with her, like just casually, I'm like, oh babe, this upset me, or I don't like this or this, and she's like, okay babe, I'll fix it. She's not gaslighting me, invalidating my emotions, making me feel guilty for having wants and needs, okay? And is such a healthy fucking relationship. Like, we're so early in, but this is the healthiest relationship I've ever been in, because my mindset now is like, if I bring something up with her that's hurting me and she invalidates me or like dismisses me or makes me feel like I'm the problem or doesn't want to communicate, this is not the relationship for me and I'm going to leave. Why the fuck would I want to be with someone like that? Right? And every time I do, because of the trauma I've had from spirituality and just past stuff, I message her and I'm like holding my breath. I'm like, whew, like I have to like fucking emotionally prepare for impact, right? Because I've had so many partners not treat me like this. And then she replies back with the most beautiful message. And I'm like, oh, I'm not in spiritual delusion anymore where I'm like taking accountability. Because in the past, guys, if my partners would have replied back with like something invalidating me or something like gaslighting me or abusing me or invalidating me, I'd be like, oh, it's because like, you know, I'm insecure or I have a low self-worth or like I don't feel chosen. That's why they're reflecting that back in my 3D reality. Brainwashed thinking. You're picking the wrong people because you have low self-esteem, no boundaries, no self-respect, okay? And guys, if you are dating those type of people, you're staying in those dynamics. If I start dating someone like that now, they'd be out of the door so fucking fast, okay? If my girlfriend starts switching up on me, bye. Like, seriously, I would not sort it out. I'd be like, okay, you're a weird fuck, bye, right? I don't think she will. She's very beautiful. But Could go on a tangent about this for hours, but really in 2026, have some critical thinking. Cut out losers in your life, okay, guys? Cut out situations that are good for you. And guys, this is the thing. Recently, I've even been cutting out people that just don't make me feel the best, okay? They don't need to be necessarily toxic. But guys, every time you're around them, if you walk away feeling like, fuck, like, why do I feel more insecure about myself when I'm around this person, or more like, bye, right? You should be walking away from people feeling like, fuck, that was an amazing weekend. Oh God, I love being around this person. They just uplift me. They make me feel so safe. If there's constant weirdness or constant you don't know where you stand with someone, cut them off. Life is too short. Anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I love talking about this. If you want me to make any further videos about this in the future, comment down below. And until next time, I love you so much. Bye.